We just watched season 2, episode 7 of Gilmore Girls, and we have so much to say. First of all, hi, I'm Chemda.
I'm Carrie. We're Gilmore friends.
We are Gilmore friends, but the real first of all is the actual title of this, never heard before by Carrie, never seen before, is this episode, and it is called Like Mother, Like Daughter.
Oh, okay. I would have called it Booster Puff.
Booster Puff. Okay, I have my alternative titles. First, we're going to ask you to subscribe. Whatever platform you're listening, we would love if you click the subscribe button. Now, my alternative titles to this, I have 2 because I'm an overachiever.
You're an overachiever.
It's too much. Puff Puff Pass.
That was my other one. That was my other one. Yes.
We're puffy friends.
Yes,
Maybe that makes us puffs now.
I thought of Puff Puff Pass.
Okay, and the other one is One of Us.
Oh, nice. But you'd have to say it with that intonation.
I do, but I don't.
Because people would read it as One of Us.
If I see a sentence that says One of Us with an exclamation, I always read One of Us. And I also thought that I would spell it $1:us exclamation
point.
One
of us. Yes. Okay. I like both of your titles.
Thanks.
And I like that we crossed over on Puff Puff Pass, which is very funny.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, I love the exercise of alternative titles. And I will say, if those out there have an alternative title, we would love to hear it. Also, we introduced Jess a couple of episodes ago, and the comments on that have been really interesting to me. I can't wait to go over that. But first, this episode. So this episode is kind of the Luke flirt episode.
There's so many Luke flirt episodes, though. I feel like him taking Lorelai to the hospital to see her dad was a Luke flirt episode. And I feel like him talking to her on the bench when Rachel was in town was a Luke flirt episode. But I know what you're saying, because we haven't had one for like 15 episodes.
Well, I just feel like this particular Luke episode, and it was very not that much a Luke episode, but it has his like soft, normal human flirt, not grumpy backwards hat Lorelai flirt. It has and I'm out in the world, so looks like I know how to behave and kind of like schmooze it up. Yeah. So I feel like we see a different person when he's flirting with Lorelai. It's a little more aggressive. Here it's a little more like, hey, I'm a man who's like being soft and charismatic around women that I may want to ask out. So we start with Lorelai saying, look at him. He's like flirting. I've never seen him flirt. And I love that Rory goes, he's flirted with you numerous times.
Yes. Yes. Everyone in town knows this, Mom. Yes. He's into you. Or at least he likes flirting with you. If he's not into you, he enjoys flirting with you.
Right. But once again, I could always understand Lorelai because she's watching him do what she's calling flirt. And like I said, it's different than when he flirts with Lorelai. He flirts with Lorelai like old school brother and sister punch you in the arm type flirting. Like pull your ponytail flirting. So I think it's all right for her to be a little confused by it. Now there's also talk about music. There's always talk about music. And I want you to know, I think I told you this while we were watching, I have the list of music that they were making fun of each other back and forth.
Yes, please. Let's hear the list.
And the reason why I want to go through this list is I want to know if you like this music.
I wrote down Macarena ? Because we need to talk about the Macarena. Okay. Go ahead.
We start with Barry Manilow because Rory found Lorelai's hidden Barry Manilow CD. Okay. Then Lorelai retorts with Rory had a Bryan Adams poster. So first of all, Barry Manilow, not my thing, but I get it. It's
Same.
It's like older people relaxing, like, hey, I'm by the pool.
Yeah, not my thing, but I'm neutral, if anything.
Yeah, it's like a fun drink with umbrellas, it feels like, right? Bryan Adams, I'm having a hard time believing that Rory had a poster of this guy.
Did someone give her the poster? Like, how did she attain said poster?
Who would do that? Lane?
Lane?
Like, and then she would post it? I'm not buying that one. I think they just wanted to rip on poor Bryan Adams. You two first names having popular. I'm not worried about you. You're probably still raking it in. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Can't even think of like which song it is. Is it, it's true. Everything I do.
Was that Bryan Adams? I think that was Bryan Adams.
All right. Then
that was some early 90s. Yeah.
You couldn't not hear that.
Yes.
So
that was on the Robin Hood, the Kevin Costner Robin Hood soundtrack.
I don't think I saw that one.
You did not miss anything.
Really?
Except that song playing over the credits. And then that put the song back in the thing. I think. I might be wrong entirely.
My favorite Robin Hood one was the one with Rufy. Oh, someone's going to help me out with which movie that is. Robin Williams.
Oh, that's Hook.
Hook.
My favorite Robin Hood is the Disney Robin Hood with the sexy fox Robin Hood.
I do not know that one.
It was everyone's first crush was an animated fox Robin Hood.
I missed out.
Yeah. Well, now yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, wow, he's so sexy. This animated fox that I'm into.
Oh, meanwhile, I used to cry at Hook. I used to be like, oh, this is so emotional. Everything was emotional for me. Okay. All right. So here's other guilty pleasures that they were mocking each other about. Here we go. Spice Girls. Sorry, but they are fun.
I like the Spice Girls. Yeah.
No one's asking you to take it seriously.
They're not deep. It's just fun, pop. It's candy. It's great.
Just have a siggy relax. We're not like dissecting it. We're just hanging out a little bit and, yell, scream, and karaoke about it.
It's great.
Yeah. Duran.
Yes. Pro.
Duran has good stuff. I never really listened to it, but I was never like, why would anyone listen to this?
Yeah, I don't change it if it comes on my rotation. Duran is great.
It's with the people who listen to it were like they wore all black with a khaki knapsack sort of thing.
Yeah, a little bit emo. Yeah, a little bit emo. A little bit.
Yeah,
edging.
Dido.
Dido had that one song. Wasn't Dido a one-hit wonder? Or am I going to be cream?
I want to
thank you. Yeah. Was there another Dido song?
She had a song with Eminem. My tears stone cold, I'm wondering why.
I thought he just sampled Thank You.
He did, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so is that the same song? It's the same song.
It's the same song.
You're right. She had others, though.
Okay.
She had others.
Then I'm not such a Dido fan, but I did like that one song.
I did like the album. I liked the softness in her voice, and I liked the words. I liked her lyrics a lot. Also, I got introduced. This is, excuse me. This is a little bit of a weird story. I got introduced to her because she was just coming out. She was going to be in Lilith Fair, and I auditioned to be her backup singer.
What?
But this, I'd never heard of her, and I don't know that a lot of people did because it was before she broke out. Yeah, so I was in the room with her auditioning. Here's the thing. They gave me hey, get these 3 songs ready, and it was by the next day, and I'm not good at doing it that fast. So I had one down, and that's why it's the only music that I know the background vocals to. And we did this one song so perfectly where at the end of it, everyone was like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, I felt that too. Then I tried to do the second song and I didn't memorize it enough. So I kind of messed up on it. And I always messed up on every audition.
No.
It's always surprising. Yeah, I'm a mess up on auditions constantly. So I did not get that job, but I did get to meet Dido for a minute.
That's so cool.
Yeah, she was small enough to do her own auditions, but also I believe in doing auditions with your voice. They were trying to see compatibility.
Of course.
Yeah. So
yeah. It's an ensemble.
Yeah.
Ensemble.
Very nice.
Yeah. Cool. That's really cool.
Thanks. And then, Olivia Newton-John. I mean, what a voice. Hopelessly devoted, right? Hopelessly
I only
devoted.
know her from Grease. I don't know her albums after that.
Me too. I think it was before our time. And we caught up with Grease, but her voice, stunning.
Her voice is amazing.
Clear, beautiful, lovely. Okay. And the Macarena, nobody liked the Macarena. You cannot tell me that people enjoyed the Macarena.
Yes.
It was something to do with your hands when you don't know how to dance at a party.
Yes, it was a low. Are we supposed to both be doing this? We did this. I don't think anyone ever did it earnestly. I think like anyone on the planet who has done the Macarena has mocked doing it. Mm-hmm. Nobody is thinking that they're dancing when they're doing this. Everyone is rolling their eyes while they do it, but everyone does it. Here's my theory on dances like this, that they are a low stakes entry onto the dance floor. So if you don't want to be on the dance floor, a stupid song like the Macarena or even the chicken dance or the electric slide, like these are low, easy, dumb dances, but it gets the people who would otherwise not go on the dance floor onto the dance floor. You've hosted parties. You've been this person getting people on the dance floor. Is that a good theory?
I have used all of those songs to get to people. And it works. It really does.
Because it really does. Because
it's exactly what you said. It's people are like, we so hate this, but you're doing it.
Like I was at a wedding and the bride was like, I'm not playing the electric slide. And I was like, if you want people on the dance floor, you have to get them to stand up with the electric slide. The song after that is when everyone stays on the dance floor to dance.
May I say the electric slide is separate to me than the Macarena and the chicken dance. Macarena and chicken dance are dumb. The electric slide is fun and cool.
Interesting. All right. It sounds like we need to go to a wedding together. We need to get married.
Okay.
Really, the electric slide is fun and cool, and the Macarena is dumb?
Yep.
Okay.
That's my little.
All right, we're gonna come back to that. We're coming back. Yeah. I'm writing down electric slide. Cool.
And not the one hop this time. Not that one.
Oh, everybody clap your hands.
Not that one.
Okay.
That one's the Macarena.
Okay.
Okay. Now that we're clear,
that's the cha-cha slide. I like that one. Slide. I like the cha-cha slide. I'm very good at it.
Oh, we do need to go to a wedding.
Rock out some cha-cha slide.
Okay. So, but meanwhile, at a party, I'll probably do whatever you want me to do. You want me to do the chicken dance because that's how you want your party to go. I'll be there doing the chicken dance. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do the electric slide, but to any song that's in 4/4 time.
That sounds good.
Because you just need a song with 4/4, and many songs are in 4/4 time. So
one time I was doing one of those, I'm the dancer that tries to motivate you to dance thing. And it was a Filipino crowd, and they loved the, we learned this dance now, like almost like line dancing. So it was the cha-cha slide, and it was whatever we just mentioned. And then I was like, wow, they're learning new ones. I'm learning new ones. They're pulling out whatever. I made one up at that moment because I was just like, well, they like this. Here, learn this. And I just made a couple moves up, and we were doing it together for a whole song.
You're a TikTok.
Whatever song was on.
I said TikTok. You're a TikTok person if you make up a dance and it catches on.
Yep. 30 years ago.
See, you were ahead of your time with TikTok. Amazing.
It was enjoyable. Filipinos know how to party.
I don't doubt it.
Fun.
Somewhere there's a very, very serious Filipino that you just offended.
Find me that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Find me.
Comment. Can we get to Chilton? Oh, first we're packing a school bag. This I found very annoying because I don't really understand the point of this scene, except that I feel so bad for Michel in this, where she calls him to do her a favor. This is a pet peeve of mine. If someone calls you and they go, hi, hold on for a second. And you're like, just call me when you're done with whatever you were going to put me on hold for. People do that a lot.
Yeah. So Lorelai's car won't start, and so we're getting a little bit of delay of what's up, because Rory says, why don't you just walk? So she can walk if she wasn't in heels. We're just getting like the geography of where this is.
This is a small town. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can make it there if you wanted to. Anyway, but yet I don't like that she picks up the phone, but I think she's doing it on purpose to Michel. We're supposed to think it's funny. And also, they take every opportunity to make the other person feel uncomfortable and annoyed.
Yes.
That's just their love between them. They just love it.
Yes.
Love it.
But I felt for him where, you pick up the phone, she's asking for a favor, and then she puts you on hold. I would just hang up. Be like, call me when you're done with whatever you're doing. Clearly, you're not done.
Well, instead, he wants low-fat cheese and a meringue cookie.
A meringue cookie? A low-fat meringue cookie.
I guess it has to be. He said low-fat cheese and a meringue cookie.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a third thing. But yes.
But I love how he gets like, his love language is roasting and food.
Yes.
He's very much in love with food and obsessed about it. So the car won't start. Okay, that's a side situation. Meanwhile, at school, this is a very school heavy thing. I'm wondering if you liked it because you wanted more school scenes.
For some reason, and I don't really know why, I was trying to think about why, but I really enjoy the Chilton episodes. Mm-hmm. I think they're great, and I cannot explain it because it's not like it's new. Like, oh, we're in school now. Like, it's not like it's a unique setting for like a show. But for some reason, I just love Chilton. I just love being there. What's going on at Chilton?
That you do. And this was heavy. I mean, this was the one where Rory gets called out for being a loner.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So awkward. She's there eating her dang lunch, minding her own dang business. And the guidance counselor comes up and it was like, a meeting, Miss Gilmore. And then luckily we get to this meeting immediately. And so she's in there and she's like, we think that you're a weird antisocial loner type and we don't like that. And we're not and Rory was like, okay. But then they were like, and we recommend people for the Ivy Leagues based on how we think they're socialized, which I think is so uncool and not true. She's already in the school newspaper. She's already like a really good student. She's not a troublemaker. What's the difference?
I don't know, except for a lot of the schools that are like this, a lot of people go to colleges, universities, prep schools, not just for the teachers, but for the social connections that you make. I think that they understand that part of their unofficial curriculum is for you to make sure that you make the connections that will later hire you, will later start companies with you, will later pull strings for you and things like that. And I think that they think she's missing out on it. I mean, they've been observing her. They said, we've been observing you for weeks.
That's so creepy. Didn't that creep you out?
But it's like, isn't that what parents are paying for? Or part of it? Part of it is like for teachers, guidance counselors, and headmasters to be talking to you like that. Like they have a very specific way of speaking.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's better than being ignored. Like, like you could say, like, that's what private education is that they're really paying attention to every student. And like,
they're trying to give them the best leg up. And I think this might be part of it. She says, quote, universities do not look kindly on loners. Now, loners is a weird way to, like you said, it's weird to call her a loner, like outright, because she wants a break from socializing during lunch.
Yes.
Because she is interacting, not socializing, she's interacting. And I thought it was very interesting that the guidance counselor said to Rory, she's like, I'm not a loner. Loners have duffel bags and long coats. And, she's basically describing like some weird Matrix looking, but that is how they've been depicted in movies for us. Of course, now I don't even want to get to like what the duffel bag is now, but anyway, loners, the guidance counselor says loners come in all shapes and sizes, even pretty girls.
Right. And so what annoys me about this scene is that she is exhibiting signs of introversion, not antisocial behavior. Introverts and extroverts can both hang out and have friends and socialize, but an introvert will take the lunch hour to be quiet, whereas the extrovert will use the lunch hour to continue talking and hanging out and socializing.
I think that's exactly right. I never really thought of it as introvert and extrovert, but it's absolutely right. And what I understand about introverts is their battery grows. Like they replenish their battery by being quiet, by not being with people, and extroverts replenish their battery by being around people.
Yes. And it doesn't mean introverts don't like hanging out. I hate this. I keep explaining this to people. It's not that I don't want to go out and I don't want to be around people. I love people. I want to go out. I want to have friends. I want to be social. I want to get drunk and giggle and laugh and be around people. But after a time of that, I will need a time of not that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And what's funny is I consider myself an extrovert, but I still need some introverting replenishing. I still need, I still think I'm going to go on some silent retreat thing. I've had silent parties at my house. Where,
That's right. That's right.
Quiet. Meditation is, I think, very, very healthy. Having a day where it's not me and the boyfriend all day, like just, okay, I'm going to read my book, or I'm going to sit here and stare. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to take a walk. It's still important to me, but I think it's because now I'm able to be by myself, where before, I got it so nervous. I would wake up, go outside. I would be outside for as long as possible. I hated being alone. But I hated my thoughts, and now I could be with them.
Yeah.
So there's a difference. So now I think I'm like a little of both.
Yeah. I mean, I've embraced my introverted side more as I age. I think when I was in my teens and 20s, I didn't ever want to be alone. Like at school, I was thinking in high school, who did I eat lunch with? And like, we were eating lunch as a group, as a collective. But by the time I was in my mid 20s, I was in a sales job where I was on the phone and quote unquote on all day. So I would take the lunch hour to not speak, to not have to be on, to have a moment to myself. And like other people who had the sales job would go have lunch together. This hurt my employment because I was seen as a loner, but it wasn't that I was a loner. It was just that the job is so demanding on my socialization skills. And like, so I just needed a minute of quiet, but it's true. Like they would be like, let's go to lunch. And I'd be like, oh, I just want to read my book on a bench. Like, wow, I just agreed with the headmaster. Is that what I just heard myself do?
Well, I think there's like a little from column A and a little from column B. I think that you shouldn't force things upon people like that, but you can have a discussion about it. I think the fact that they were like, you just need to socialize, period, end of story, might not be the way to approach it. You might have like some sort of introverted ideas for them.
Nobody said, how's your social life here? Nobody asked an open-ended question. They were just like, here's the thing you need to do. But nobody said, are you okay? Is it because Paris is mean to you? Is it because you've tried to make friends and they're snotty little bitches at you? Nobody said that. They gave her a directive, which I think is unhelpful.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so, that's exactly right.
Also, we haven't seen Henry forever. Doesn't he go to Chilton? He was there in summer school, whatever. I'm not talking about Henry anymore. But like, remember when I thought they were going to hook up and that didn't happen? Well, not yet. It didn't happen yet. But like, we've seen her socializing with other people besides the Mean Girls is my point. And like, we haven't seen Tristan this season.
Right.
Have we seen him at all? Season 2? Anyway, my point is the kids at Chilton are kind of stuck up. So like,
yeah, it could be. I think your questions were way better than, like you said, the directive that somebody just hands who they think a child who they are supposed to be nurturing and
so they're like, we've been watching you, and here's the thing you're doing wrong. Do it better. Instead of, we've been watching you, and we wonder if you're feeling socially isolated.
We know you're new. We know you came in the middle where a lot of people went to school for years and years with each other. Yeah, I think all of that is good. But instead, we got the comparison to your buddy, Sean Gunn, Kirk.
Oh, yeah. So good.
Who said it was him? He said something about him being the loner, so don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. You can end up like me. And then they're like, oh, no.
He said, I carried a duffel bag and ate lunch by myself my entire school career, and I turned out just fine.
Oh, so painful.
And at that point, Lorelai and Rory basically said to each other, maybe we should try.
Maybe we should. Yeah, they look at each other and they're like, oh, my God.
Yeah, but Lorelai, it doesn't stop her from going to the school to talk to Headmaster.
So I like this scene so much because Lorelai goes in guns blazing. She thinks she's going to be the boss. She's going to tell him what for. And she goes in there and so quickly the tables turn on her. What did I write down? In this scene, he's like, we have a file on you. It's very thin. You need more involvement, blah, blah, blah. Don't they remember Max?
Well, he was mentioning you to Lorelai, hey, you didn't do anything. And she's like, I came to the bake sale. We remember the bake sale as the first time Max asked her out.
Yes, but Max got in trouble for smooching her in his classroom during parent-teacher day.
Yes. What he is saying is, yes, you interacted, but with just a teacher, not any of the parents, not any of the parents appropriately, and you didn't join them. You just got asked out by a teacher and then you left.
Right.
So he's just reminding her that she's not actually joining. She's done.
Right. So she gets the same treatment that Rory gets.
Yes.
Which is like, here's the thing you're not doing and you need to do this better or there's consequences for you not being a little joiner.
And this episode is called like Mother Like Daughter. So
yes. So I got hit over the head with that. Yes. I understood.
I love how Headmaster interrupts with polite condescension. Polite is in quotes, where he says, we're all tremendously busy.
Yes, I like that. Well, my schedule is we're all tremendously busy.
I hope you're not too busy to do what's best for you and Rory.
I love it.
It's so like these little threats of like, we know you want us to write a recommendation for Harvard. We know that you're interested in us when it's time to go to the university.
Yes.
Like, we're not saying anything. We're just saying.
Right. Wouldn't it be nice if someone would write you I know. It's like on, I don't know. It's like on The Sopranos when they're like not threatening you, but very clearly are. But like in a court of law, you have plausible deniability, right?
This is me asking.
This is me asking because it would be a shame if this didn't happen like this. And like, it's such a cliche, but it's so funny because you're like, hey, because you heard it right, but the words are not threatening.
Yeah, but if you didn't feel threatened or somehow reprimanded, Lorelai wouldn't go, may I go?
May I go? Yeah. I like that but she goes with homework. He gives Lorelai homework. She's holding a piece of paper as she walks out she slinks out of there. She walks out and he gives her paper. Oh, I felt so bad for her.
Well, that's usually what a Chilton mom would be. She would be Emily. Emily has the day to have her social functions. Her social functions are actually sitting on the board of this, that, and the next, and producing shows and things like that. And it's very much a participator. So,
right. And they're not usually working moms because they married rich. These are rich families where the moms have plenty of time and money at the same time.
And it is their job to create a socially adept and an intelligent and presented to the world human being. So,
right. But we did this last episode when Rory had her debutante coming out ball. So now she's in society. Now she's officially in society. And like, now you got to start acting like it. And that means showing up to crap. Yeah.
Yeah. So Lorelai agrees to it. She's just like, okay,
she's on board.
I also need to. And she so got messed up by the headmaster. She forgot to meet Rory at her Latin class.
Yeah.
That was a weird line to.
Yeah. Why did they throw that in? Because they wanted to show that Lorelai was like flummoxed.
I think
like she was so out of sorts by this meeting that she like drove a half an hour.
Yeah. And didn't realize, oh, hey, I forgot to meet. So Rory had to come home
on the bus.
Go, oh, you're here.
So weird.
Because there's no cell phones yet. So you can't even say like, should I be waiting for you? Did you get into an accident? Did you see Headmaster?
Right.
Did she, it was just one line, but we got all that.
Also, Lorelai has a cell phone we've established in previous episodes.
So I think people didn't used to be as worried. Now we're just like, you didn't answer my text.
This was the crossover years where we didn't know that you could call everyone and also this was the crossover years where they were still charging by the minute for cell phones. It was like emergency only, but it is still weird that like I never forget that Chilton is a half an hour drive from their home. This is not walking across the street to the public school in Stars Hollow. This isn't a whole nother, like, so it's just funny to me that she like drove all the way home and like didn't remember. It's like,
you said, that's how flummoxed she is. Okay. And then she's describing the meeting with the headmaster. Lorelai says he yelled at me. Now, I have a pet peeve, and this is it. A lot of people think people are yelling when they're just talking information that you just don't like.
Yeah.
But there's not 1 ounce of yelling that man did.
It's a turn of phrase. Yelling means scolding. So if you're like, Carrie, don't burp into the microphone, and then I'm like, why did he yell at me? You know?
See, but that's my pet peeve. I don't think there's yelling there. I think scolding is a better word. I don't know. I just,
because you want to add drama to your life, so everyone's always yelling at you, but no one's ever yelling at you. People are just saying things.
This is from relationships where people are describing, and I'm just like, I didn't yell at you. I had information, and like we needed to discuss things that were maybe uncomfortable, but like wasn't yelling. Also, I get passionate, and I'm just like, well, why would you even like? I don't understand why that would happen. And I'm like, is that yelling?
No, I feel like you're right though. People don't use it the way we think of a person yelling. Like if I was like in an acting class and they were like, show me a person yelling.
Right.
It wouldn't be like, don't forget to set the table. You're like, stop yelling at me. Like, that's not yelling. Right. But I see what you mean. Like, if in a relationship setting, that would be really off-putting if you're always being accused of yelling at someone when you know you're not, because it sounds like they're trying to make you sound like more of a jerk than you are.
Yeah, and I think in a lot of relationships, I'm just coming to this now, people were using your yelling as sort of like a manipulative way to say, I was a victim in that moment. And I'm like, no, we were talking about the logistics of our relationship / of our home, of whatever. And you're saying yelling because you want to get out of the responsibility of actually giving me a response.
Right.
Well, so that all came to me just now. Okay,
you're accusing,
folks.
well, it's someone accusing you of being like unhinged when you're not. Yeah,
it's kind of like going, you're being crazy.
Yeah, you're being crazy. Stop being hysterical when you're like, I think we should talk about a relationship. Stop yelling at me. Mm-hmm. It has that vibe of like, calm down.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I use it more playfully, but you're right. Like that in a relationship setting, that would get very tiresome very quickly.
But even here, like Lorelai is she says he yelled at me, and I'm like, he told you some things that you might need to change, and now you're like, I was just a widow girl,
right?
And he was yelling at me.
Yeah, he was off the chain. He needed to calm down.
We all have a schedule.
I mean, he did speak firmly at her. He spoke assertively.
I've never seen that man not speak assertively.
That's just how he speaks. Yeah.
He's a headmaster.
He's the headmaster. He has a headmaster voice.
Master.
And then he gets home.
Master.
He gets home and he's all like submissive at home.
Yeah, right.
Like this is his day job where he's like, I speak with authority. And he gets home and he's like, yes, ma'am.
Like, hello, Biddy. It's so good to see you. Yay, I'm home.
Yep. He's footmaster there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so finished being headmaster. Whoop, whoop, party. He turns on techno music.
He's super introverted.
The kids were so annoying today.
I yelled at one mom after the next.
That's right. I love yelling. Let's go do karaoke.
That's a good karaoke song.
That's the headmaster
I love yelling.
in his home.
All right. So I wrote that Lorelai has homework. She comes home. And they decide that they're going to do it together, which I think was a good choice.
Yeah.
That they're going to tackle this. They're both going to make an effort, which I like.
Also, I feel like, it is part of it, and you do want to make friends with these people. And if, I don't know, I could see being a mom and wanting to see who the other moms are. And I understand that most moms are just annoyed doing these things, or most parents now, it's not just a mom thing anymore. Most parents are not that into it. And at the same time, I'm like, yes, you are. Yes, you are into it. You all have so much in common. Just like, and this is part of it. It's just a lot for a person who also has a job and a full-time everything.
Yes.
So,
yes.
All right. Okay.
But I like that they're not being needlessly defiant, where they're like, Headmaster, screw him, because why, Because like Lorelai's first impulse was to defend Rory, but after speaking to the Headmaster, she was like, we need to try to do this, Yeah,
and I think we're kind of feeling the same, because on the one hand, it's like, hey, just let Rory be Rory. On the other hand, it's like, maybe she should make a friend in this school.
Right.
On the track that she wants to be in.
Right.
Like maybe try a little bit.
Yeah.
And so here's my thing. Now, I stopped going to lunch 1 or 2 days into my high school career because I didn't know where to sit. And I just decided I'm skipping lunch. So I started doing work at my guidance counselor instead. And then I did my schedule so I don't even have a lunch. Like, I avoided it because I don't know how, and Rory did this, I don't know how you walk up to a table and go, and he's here, and I mean, I could totally sit with anyone, but like, can I sit with you guys? Is that like a thing? Or do you want to just, you know what? Just go ahead and spit at me. Just go. I would rather Headmaster yell at me for an hour, yell at me, than have to stand in front of other teenagers and go, hi, I just thought that I was regular cool. Am I cool enough for that? Huh? What do you say? I thought Rory was perfect. She said there's a draft. Can I sit here?
She rambles on. Okay, so a couple things. I did sit with friends when I had friends who had the same lunch period as I did, because that was not consistent for high school. Sometimes we had lunch periods together and sometimes it didn't work out schedule-wise. But you find each other in the cafeteria first. And then you get your tray and your food and your crap, and then you go sit down together. You don't walk up to a table of strangers.
Yes, but who are your friends? Because I walked in and the cafeteria was this segregated everything. So it was literally Asians sitting with Asians, Black people sitting with Black people. I had the choice of Jappy people, Jewish American princesses. That's right.
Not Japanese.
No.
So
I went to school private school, to Jewish private school with some of them that actually happened to go to this high school, because we tried out to get into here and some of them were zoned. I was bussing it in, and I didn't feel super connected with them from the old school. So I just thought like, no, I need to find like this new group, but all the groups were taken and I don't fit any group. So I had no group to sit with.
Oh.
There was no weird outsider who wasn't goth, who didn't dress exactly like this. I dressed a different way every day, so I didn't belong into one.
That's what I did, a different thing every day. One day I was goth, one day I was metalhead,
and I also listened to all the different music.
Right,
sometimes
so like
I listened to metal,
our thing,
sometimes.
I'm trying to remember. I think if I knew that nobody I knew had the same lunch period, I would probably have lunch elsewhere. But if anyone I knew had lunch, do you have lunch 7th period, 6th period? I'll meet you meet you in the cafeteria 6th period, like any familiar face. But I would bounce around from different groups. If you don't know where to sit with the metalheads. That's it.
I guess I could. I blew it that first week, and then there was no going back because I think I watched too many high school movies and shows.
Yes.
And I was afraid that I was about to take my lunch into the bathroom.
I was disappointed by the end of high school that nobody stuffed me in a locker.
Yeah.
I
was
like in school.
Of that.
So I got in a locker myself, and then my friend locked me in there, and it was pretty funny because I couldn't get out. Oh, good times. But I did that to myself. But no, I never had like, and if I got into the cafeteria and I didn't see any familiar face of anyone, I looked around like I would just go sit by myself and eat.
And you were okay?
Yeah, I think.
I was never that strong, not in high school.
I would probably leave halfway through. Like I probably wouldn't sit. I would just like consume the food and then exit the room.
What, standing, leaning? What do you mean you wouldn't
Empty
sit?
table on the floor.
Okay.
I would kneel down on the floor, put the tray in front of me and eat like a dog, when you don't have a clique.
Nailed it. How did she nail it? She nailed it. She went to like the cool folks. She didn't even know they were cool, which is probably helpful.
Yes.
It turns out she sat with some sorority.
She accidentally sat with the only high school sorority in the world, the Puffs. And when she sees them, I noticed that Francie has red hair. She's curly red hair. And I was like, oh, you're not talking to that girl. Because Hollywood is not nice to redheads.
No, they're not.
So I was like, oh no, the redhead's going to be mean to her. She's going to be mean to her. But surprisingly, she wasn't. She was just like, okay. She was a little. They were
sort of ready to be mean. They had like, she said that she's important. Francie said she's important.
Mm-hmm.
So she had an air of like.
Yeah, they're snotty, but they don't outright like spit on her. You know, like they don't.
Yeah.
They do sort of tolerate her being there. What do they say? Oh, I didn't write anything out. But we
said it in a different. Yeah,
they said it. They said everything.
They said in the later scene. They said we find you fascinating.
Right.
So she's such a weirdo that they're like, come, let us watch you in the wild. You know,
right?
That's how they were looking at her. Like, we're elite, and since we don't know if you are, we're going to treat you like an animal until we decide which box to put you in.
Right.
Yeah. But Paris is losing her mind.
Right.
Because
Paris
apparently
pulls
her
her
mom
aside.
was a puff. Her
yeah,
aunt
her
was
whole.
a puff.
I wrote Paris freaks out. Her whole family was puffs, and she's like, "Don't say anything bad about me." And Rory was like, "I'm not even talking about you." And she's like, "Just don't, okay? Do whatever you want." Like she's just like loses her mind. Why? Why are you losing
poor
her
girl?
mind?
I mean,
she's overthought it in a way that I would overthink it, which is why it's so hilarious to me that she's like, just don't say anything bad.
But Paris is buying into what you're supposed to buy into. This is the influential people. This is who got her mother and her aunt into whatever social situation that helped her marry the right person and helped her be in the right place. And she sucked up to Francie for a while. Would you like to hear the list of suck-ups?
Yes, I need to. I remember that it ends with orange stick, but please go. Please tell me. Yes.
So Paris has been sucking up to Francie in the following ways. She helped her with homework. Okay. Secured her a prime spot in the parking lot. Organized her locker. And scrunched up the plastic strands on her pom-poms to make them fluffy. Everything but a manicure. So the manicure is why she was supposed to be
She's not good with an orange stick.
Paris, you dear.
You're doing too much, as they say now. You were doing too much. Mm-hmm. And they say that later at the next lunch, you know, they're like, she's too intense. You got to chill.
And she is too intense, and she is a bully. And let's not forget, last we saw her, she gave Rory the parking lot piece to write about and the piece on Max because she realized that there's turmoil going between them. So she actively bullies her in the most psychologically damaging way that she can.
Paris is not a nice person. So
but when she needs Rory to be nice to her, she's like, why are you so mean and you can't just be nice to me?
Because that's how she is. So she assumes everyone else is like that when Rory's not like that. It's like when you're a scammer, you think everyone else is a scammer, you know?
That's true.
I mean, I think everyone's a scammer. Why do I think everyone's a scammer?
Do you?
Because I'm a scammer. I don't know, but that Paris assumes everyone is conniving like she is, and Rory just isn't. So she's kind of like flustered that Rory won't take the bait.
I think Paris thinks like on a Machiavellian, like sort of everyone is out for themselves. Mm-hmm. Everyone's a horrible person.
And it's a zero-sum game. We can't both go to Harvard. It's like one of us goes to Harvard and the other one is in the gutter, according to Paris, which is just so weird.
Yeah. So, before we continue, just super quick, hello to our Patreon people. Thank you for the Patreon supporters. We posted some extras. We have some fun options. Join our Gilmore Friends Patreon. You can find the information at gilmorefriends.com. Thank you all for listening. And we're having a barbecue at the grandparents'. Can we explain this?
This is so great.
I'm so glad you yelled at the screen because I felt the same way. The maid answers the door and says, "Go on the patio. We're barbecuing."
Yep.
I thought they would have the patio furniture out.
I thought they would have the patio set up to eat dinner. Or at least do the pre-dinner cocktails.
Yes.
Sometimes that happens, and then you go to the table inside. But they go out. They're dressed up for dinner. Like, they look nice. They go out. They see a professional chef grilling and corn on the cob on a skewer.
Yeah.
And they each take one, and then then immediately Emily comes out and scolds them for eating.
Says, "What is this, a refugee camp?
What is
Animals eat outside."
Look, very rich people eat outside.
Of course.
Just saying. So I wrote down, I was like, I thought she said to meet me on the patio. Where the hell was she? Where's the pre-dinner drinks? Why aren't we sitting down having a glass of wine before dinner?
Are you just supposed to like pass by the barbecue to go?
Yeah. It was supposed to be it was supposed to be obvious that you're supposed to walk by the barbecue with a man in like a hilarious chef's hat, pass that and go directly into the formal dining room. Very weird behavior by Emily. Even by Emily's standards.
It's almost like Emily set them up so that she can have her daily "I'm yelling at someone."
Yes.
Maybe like she couldn't humiliate someone earlier. So she's like, "Tell them to go on the patio."
And did you realize that the staff who answered the door was not Liesel? I had to look that up.
No, it's a different person.
It's a different person because Liesel didn't make it. She had a panic attack and died the last episode, we assume.
Nobody makes it.
No, that's probably the running joke of the show, is that it's a different person each week. It's like Murphy Brown's secretary.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
it is.
Okay.
Yes. And Lorelai couldn't even sit down before Emily started tearing into her how she's humiliating. She actually used the word humiliate all of us by not being involved.
Yes.
So she's Lorelai made up that she joined the Booster Club, and now she has to join the
And now she's in the Booster Club, and she's like, "Oh, the Booster Club is a very refined, like, long line of blah, blah, blah." And they have matching sweatshirts, and Lorelai's like, "Gulp," and like, derp. But I love how quickly this episode moved along, because then I'm like, what the heck is a Booster Club? And then we go there immediately. It's so great. Then we're at the Booster Club, and I immediately clocked the actress who is at the head of the table, who we later find out is Ava, was Braless Lady from Seinfeld.
Yes, it's going to be part of my trivia. I have other stuff about her, but yeah, she's the one who Kramer sued.
Yes.
Because he crashed his car because she's so hot.
Right, because the patriarchy. But I think there was crossover in the casting directors for these two shows, because we've had a lot of crossover. Or was there just like a pool of like funny like actors auditioning for the same kinds of shows? Well,
seriously, every time I look someone up who just has like one moment in Gilmore Girls, they've had one moment on a bunch of shows.
On a million shows. Yeah. So that's what I think. I think this was just the pool of like actors auditioning for this kind of part, which is so cool. That means they were all friends, you know?
Yeah, and we remember Lorelai was in Seinfeld as the answering machine girl.
Right.
The one who wanted to be number one in his answering machine.
I got to watch that episode again.
Luke was in Seinfeld because he was the sponge-worthy guy.
Right. So I think all of these actors hang out. I think
they all hang out in the same audition room as other people, and they're the ones who keep making it. But I think you're just an actor, and they need one actor for one thing. So you just keep booking. Yeah.
I like that there's crossover. Yeah. And I so rarely identify people, but this was one I got. So I'm very excited. And I'm sorry that I ruined one of your trivias, but I am so proud of myself.
You should be.
Let's see.
So they're talking. So at the Booster Club, apparently it's to raise funds for things, and they're working on their next fundraiser. And I love the Aubrey character. She's the newlywed to a rich guy, obviously on his second marriage, and she can't remember her stepkids' names. And she's just, and they go, "Oh, she used to work at Saks," and she waves her ring
She's
finger and goes,
not anymore.
Not anymore. I got married. I don't have to work anymore.
It's so great.
So her sax. So we are basically being told that the fashion show that they have later, these are sax clothes. Okay, but okay. Did Sax have anything to say about this episode? Because
we got to look in the credits, and if Sax had anything to say, I'm sure they didn't mind. It's not like there was anything. Well, we should get to the fashion show in a minute.
And so Lorelai is great. I mean, this is her wheelhouse. She
jumps right in. But what I don't like, that she did it again. She did it again, where she volunteers Suki without consultation from Suki herself.
Well, no, in all fairness, this is her job to do.
Oh, it's within job bounds.
Yeah, because she would go back to the inn and say, do we have an opening for this event? The event costs money. She's paying Suki. Like this is part of the job. Okay. You're right. Yeah.
Because it's not off-site, but she did volunteer her for something else like another time.
Yeah, she volunteers her for a lot of things. Like, oh, Suki will cook. Like, no, this isn't work. This is your house.
Right.
She volunteered her to do the bake sale for Rory's thing, although we have to believe that maybe she asked. But she volunteered her to cook dinner for when Jess came. Yes.
And didn't check with Suki if she was available and even wanted to do it.
And even gave like a specific night, come over Saturday night or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, how about I'll talk to Suki. Let's make a thing.
Yeah. I'll talk to Suki and confirm.
Yeah.
Nope. No. No, it would take too much time for the plot. We need this to we're clipping along here.
Yeah.
All right. So
now Lorelai is putting on this event. It's a fashion show. It's with the Booster moms. She involves her mom in it because she was very upset that she has to be in the fashion show. So somehow she got her mom to be in the fashion show also.
I love this.
Her I like that Rory gave her a model name, and it's Waffle. I want to call her Waffle now. And the guy put it, first of all, they're like, oh, let's make sure that the inn is big enough. The inn had like 20 people in the audience. How did you raise any money?
These are all 20 of the richest people you've ever shaken a stick at.
That's fair.
So if you get 20 rich people or 100 poor people, you make more money with the 20 rich people no matter what.
That's true. And Lorelai was very rude to the guy putting together the runway.
Yes.
But that's because we needed Luke in his toolbox to come in.
We needed Luke to show up with his giant toolbox, and we need him to get noticed by Ava, who I wrote Luke there to fix shit is what I wrote down. I think we needed more Luke in this episode, but we needed a way for Lorelai to see Luke interacting with another woman, an attractive woman, presumably.
And a woman who said she's attracted to him.
Yes. But first of all, she just met Lorelai, and for her to lean in and be like, is he single? I'm like, you don't even know her. Like, what are you doing?
And also, like, how do you know she knows him? It's a guy with a toolbox at her inn.
Yeah.
She knows if he's free. Like,
yeah, it was so weird.
I think that around this time, women sexualizing men was like the cool thing to do.
Right. That
like,
was seen as
hubba.
Yeah,
we're turning the tables on you.
Yes. Yes.
So
this was seen as like edgy and like the cool new thing is like, right. And also maybe Ava is so rich and entitled that she just sees a man and she just asks whoever's standing next to her, is he single? Just because you happen to be standing next to her, she's like, I'm going to take that one for mine.
Yummy, yummy.
That's what I do. Yep. First time I saw my boyfriend, I was like, rare, put that one in my sack.
Hubba. I can't help myself. But we got to the part that I think every Gilmore friend absolutely loves. I look forward to this every single rewatch. And that is Emily on that stage, on that runway, delighted by it all, soaking in it. They somehow were able to do like some sort of choreographed piece of step pivot look, like this whole, and she's like, ooh,
I love this scene so much. First of all, I called out that their dresses look like Nancy Reagan. That was a clear call out to Nancy Reagan's the red like fitted suit with the black collar. But they come out together. Lorelai looks like she's gonna like throw up, like she's not into it, but Emily is so into it. And then by the end, Lorelai gets into it. About halfway through, she's like, whatever, and she decides to have fun with it. The song is Girls Just Want to Have Fun. It was really, really, really fun. I really like the scene. I like when they're getting along, and I like when Emily is being game. You know, like she's doing a thing that's fine. And like, these are also her people. Like, these are the rich donors at a gala. Like, she probably knows most of the people in the room. And so she's just being goofy. And it doesn't matter that Richard's not there for this particular event. It's an all ladies event. Right. And so she can ladies night it out. That's right. She can ladies night it up. But yeah, they've softened Emily well, maybe not. We'll get back to that. But I love that she just came out smiling, because I was afraid they were going to make her come out all stiff and robotic and like eye rolling and like, ugh, whatever. How dare you? But instead she embraced it, and it was so much more fun. I'm so glad you liked it, because I know, like, I've read about this thing. People look forward to it. I look forward to it. And it's so cheesy and so corny, but we all feel a certain way. And I want to know, how did this simple scene become so beloved? Why are we so, because both of us, you and I, had grins while we were watching. We were dancing along with it. We were so happy. Yeah. That this can do this collectively to people. It says a lot. Because you want a win for them. You know what I mean? Like, you want them to relax a little bit on this show, and like finally watching them have fun just for the sake of having fun is such a relief. I think I have to think about it a little more, but that was my impression. Weird, right? Like, enjoying Emily's enjoyment was just a thrill to both of us. Yes, exactly. Watching Emily enjoy something like unironically was just beautiful. Just beautiful. It was just fun, you know? Yeah, it was really nice. So I like seeing the lighter side of Emily, and we've all suspected that Emily has a lighter side. And now we see it a little bit. She can be whimsical. She can be a little campy and a little silly. We also got to judge the other looks at the fashion show. You and I did. Yes. I think we only liked one of them. Yeah, we only really liked the halter dress. The first one. And then there was some other boxy, weird crap. Yeah, it's kind of like what old biddy rich people were supposed to wear at that time. But luckily, I think there's a little more sense and a little more, a little less boxy. Well, now flowy. Rich people wear really bold prints. And also just leggings and stuff. Like, well, no, I guess Lululemon is not, I don't know. Athleisure, they call it. When you're so leisurely, even your athletics is comfortable. No, that's not a good. No, let's keep going. Okay. Cut that out. Okay. But Paris, we get back to Chilton finally, and Paris approaches the table of the cool girls, and they invite her. The way they eventually decide to invite Paris is really weird to me. I enjoyed it. Rory gives them a song and dance about how great Paris is, including unbelievable to anybody, because Paris just snipes at everybody. Yeah. But Rory tells a bunch of lies about Paris, and she's like, Paris is so funny, and Paris is so great, and she's so smart, and eventually convinces them. They're like, she might join another sorority. That's what convinces them. Like, she accidentally made it sound like Paris has other options and is considering them. And they called it, oh my God, a de facto. So they can't ruin their own line, knowing that her whole family has a history of puffs. They now understand they got to kick it into gear and include Paris. So now I always hope in this scene, like, Paris, are you seeing that Rory is on your side no matter what you do to her? And it's like,
is this what Rory's life is supposed to be? Is just still being nice to somebody who constantly tries to hurt her?
Mm-hmm.
But it is probably better. But why does she have to deal with Paris? But there it is.
I am also annoyed with Rory for how much she puts on the line for a person who's not appreciating her.
And actively trying to hurt her.
Yes.
It's not just like stepping out of her way or not including her. It is actively trying to destroy her.
Yes. I don't like
it. And everything she likes.
And like, I hoped it would happen like the 4th episode last season. So I might be out, but like Paris has to realize that like Rory's not her enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And her own ambition is her enemy. You know what I mean? Like her own, she's getting in her own way.
But it's coming out of jealousy, of course. But
I know, but she's got to grow as a character. Come on. Also, once again, I will remind everyone that the best night of her life was the Bengals concert. All right, that's my weekly update on the best night of Paris's life. I will continue to say it until the end of the series. You're welcome.
And now, okay, so the Puffs are now going to initiate these girls, and Lorelai tells Rory, which I think as a mom, I would tell my kid that, hey, people are going to come fake kidnap you.
Yes.
Because otherwise I'm not going to just leave the house without telling my mother. Also, what a town and a life you live in that you could leave a key under the mat for girls you don't know in a school that's only been mean to your kid.
Yeah.
Leave money on the coffee table. They're going to come get her.
And because I have trust issues personally, I assumed they were going to come in and mess with Rory. I thought they were going to crack an egg on her head and then a bag of flour on her bed and like a tube of toothpaste in her butt. I don't know, like whatever.
Or take her somewhere, drop her there.
Yeah.
Bye.
I thought it was going to be some kind of mean girl thing.
It could be.
It could be. It weirdly wasn't.
You're leaving a key and money. Excuse me.
Yeah. So this is a hazing ritual. What did I write down?
And meanwhile, Paris's parents or nanny, like nobody told her. So
they didn't know because nobody cares about Paris and her household.
I guess somebody had to leave the door open for her to be kidnapped. So you're telling me that
they probably just bribed the nanny, or they bribed a locksmith.
I mean, I guess in her family, they know, oh, yeah, you do this. And Paris, I don't know if you noticed, during the ritual was mouthing the words.
Mm-hmm.
So she knows.
Yes, totally.
So I guess she knows.
That's another thing about this. Okay, so can we get to the event? They're in this thing. Okay, so the Puffs are like
kidnapped.
They get kidnapped. And are there 4 kidnappees?
I think there are 3.
3 kidnappees. So it's Paris and Rory and another person.
That's what I saw. I could be wrong. There could be.
This is a long line of Puffs. Like they name like nobody knows that this happens. Is this always the hazing ritual? Because you'd think the headmaster would be aware of this.
Yeah, it did seem like. First of all, they have the key, but sure, they're rich enough that somebody is able.
The same locksmith they bribed to get into Paris's house. They bribed to get into the headmaster's house.
Sure. And it must be the same because Francie was like, all the Puffs before have done this and now you're standing in front of here. Like, but she has to say it in some weird, fake poetic way. But yeah, it sounded like this is what we do. But somebody must have narked about like when they did it because how are you getting caught?
Yes. How on earth are you getting caught? Somebody narked, but also you had generations of women who could have narked.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It's
Why
pretty funny.
Why are you guys the worst?
Yeah, they didn't do anything.
Like, get it done. First of all, and also your stupid Yaya sisterhood version of this. What was it? It's okay. First of all, Rory's like, hey, we're breaking into the headmaster's thing. And this is not exactly my way of dealing with things. And she says, I have friends. I don't need this. And I loved what Paris said. First of all, she said, we're making very important social connections. And Rory's like, I have friends. And Paris goes, how nice it must be to be you. Maybe someday I'll stumble into a Disney movie and suddenly be transported into your body. And after living there for a while, I'll finally realize the beauty in myself. But until that moment, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to become a puff. Now get out of my way.
Nice.
More realistic than other things, but also realistically, if I was Rory, I'd be like, what the hell? Nobody told me we're breaking and entering. And even, and the stupid pledge is I pledge myself to the puffs. Loyal I'll always be. P to start, 2 F's at the end, and a U sitting in between. That's what you guys came up with. And then you ring some stupid bell. The bell ringing is like, okay, fine. You're supposed to do some sort of ritualistic whatever. But P to start, 2 F's at the end, and a U sitting in between.
Dumb. It's just so dumb.
Dorks.
Yeah, but we don't know, between you and me, we don't know how accurate that is to sorority pledges. The secret ones, I mean, not the public ones, but the secret ones that we don't know about might be that stupid.
I guess, because it's like, who cares what you're saying? You're just saying, like, so, like, we're together.
If you're joining the Carrie cult, it would be the Carrie sorority, it would be CARR, I for me, and E for excellence, or something like that. Now you do one.
Okay. The Chemda. Ch to get that loogie ready, and hem the pants after you do it.
Hem the pants. Or see, I want to join your sorority. That's way more fun. C for shining seas. A for awesome.
Yeah, I see why it has to be so simple.
Yeah, you see why they came up with P at the beginning, a double F and a U between? Because it's just that this is as much effort as they put into it, was you and I hemming the pants.
Okay, fine. But they get caught, and I'm so disappointed at them. And I like Rory's speech when they get caught, because Headmaster just is beside himself. Suspension will be considered. Detention and extra credit will be a given. He named feelings that he was feeling. Disappointment. He was so upset.
Yes.
And I love that Rory was finally like, this is BS.
Yeah. And, you told me to go make friends, and I did.
I have the quote if you want it.
Oh, I love it. I love Rory standing up for herself.
Rory says, I have friends, and I have a steady boyfriend, and my mother and I are freakishly linked, and Lane and I have been best friends since kindergarten. But you don't see that because I don't live in this town. And if you don't see it, it must not be true. You call me in here to lecture me because I'd rather read at lunch than endlessly discuss the euthanasia of homecoming. You told me and you told my mother that I needed to socialize, and that if I don't, it would be frowned upon and it would hurt me getting into Harvard. And now she's doing this weird thing, and now she's getting in trouble because of what you said she needed to do and be. And I love that Headmaster was like, possibly we have been a little hasty to judge your case.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Oh, because you don't see it, I don't socialize. And it's like a listener of ours said in the comments, he said, hey, she's been doing extracurriculars. It's just not exactly on the board at Chilton. Mm-hmm. It is town events, and she helps out. And, her mother helps out as well. So it's just a different version of socializing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing. When Lorelai comes and picks up Rory, she's like, you got busted for ringing a bell? And it's like, Lorelai, no, she got busted for breaking and entering.
Right.
This is an actual, if people wanted to pursue pressing charges, there are charges here that she can go to actual jail for. Now, the school isn't even going to put it on their record because they don't want to show that the schools
that
are
there's
not
juvenile delinquents go here. So they're going to give them a slap on the wrist and be like, naughty, naughty. But also, all of their mothers who were puffs should defend them.
Yeah, well, no, because why did you get caught? We all did this for years and years, and you ruined it.
Right.
So get your act together and do this right. This is a secret society, and now Headmaster knows about it. One of you is a leak, and
and we can't be having that.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's true. Mommy, I didn't even want to be a puff. You made me do it. Me.
I learned it by watching you.
But yes, exactly. I feel so bad that Paris gets picked up by her like nanny chaperone person. She doesn't even get picked up by her parents.
By the way, that is the mom in every Latino. We have to have a Latino mom. That is the mom who plays it. That's the woman who plays that character.
She's
always.
Latino mom. I mean, how many people audition for the role of Latino mom? If it's
a lot.
She's kneecapping everybody on the way into the audition.
Yes, that can't be the only Latino mom.
I don't know.
But I love that she's reprimanding her in Spanish.
Yes.
And the other mom reprimanding thing, I just want to point out at the end of Lorelai and Emily's thing, you were like, "Oh, Emily, don't ruin this for Lorelai."
Oh yeah,
because because Lorelai just got like this is the best event we've ever had.
She just got praise from these mean girls, or what we thought. I thought they were going to be mean girls, but instead they were like, "This was the best event. You nailed it. Blah blah blah. You did great." I was so happy for Lorelai.
Yeah. So in all fairness, Emily didn't say something horrible, but she did say, "Funny how nicely you seem to be fitting into the world you ran away from." Now, this is such a strong sentence for me that I can't let it go before we finish the rest of this episode, because I went away from how I was raised also. But can I tell you, like, for anybody who's not in line with what they've been taught, whether it's the same religion or tradition or just generally like socializing, somebody who chose their own path, became the black sheep. I think you all feel the pain of, they made this an all or nothing thing. I wanted to be myself in your society, in your traditions. But when I said, not this, can we not do this part of it? You were like, no, it's all or nothing. Now, when I stepped away from how I was raised, and I was raised traditionally, I had to be married to, a Jewish male. I had to be younger than this. I had to have kids. I didn't have to think about a career. I had to put the family ahead. Like all of these very traditional roles. I was like, well, I'm not going to be doing that, but I still want to be invited to the barbecue. Literally, I want to still have the extended family that I had. I still want to see my cousins. I still want to see my aunts and uncles. I still want to participate. I haven't danced to Middle Eastern music in such a long time, because I'm not going to go to the weddings and to the bar and bat mitzvahs, because I chose to be outside of this, which means I don't get to eat the delicious food. I don't get to be.
It's not fair that it can't be. It like you said, it has to be all or nothing. That you can't say, I'm going to be the best daughter and person that I can possibly be, but I don't want to do X, Y, and Z. Yeah. And those can both exist. And like in just some cultures, they just don't, that you're not going to embrace the black sheep of the family.
No, because you're actually making them feel very uncomfortable, and you're shaming them. Now, in all fairness, my mother and I have been reconnecting and not feeling that way. And so I got to eat a little bit of her food, and I get to have this like situation. I'm back a little bit. I got to see my family. Now it was because my father's funeral, but I wouldn't have felt comfortable. I'm really glad that I reconnected before. And I didn't know if it was possible or not, because I didn't know if I was allowed a toe or 5 toes, or you put your toe, I put my toe, and then we keep our fingers out of it. So I'm really happy about this, but just so everybody knows, when we leave, it's not the entire world we want to run away from. It's certain things that are just
right.
They feel impossible, if not uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but you're so, that's so true though, I think a lot of cultures are like that. Like, I had a friend who was a friend of a friend who was a Jehovah's Witness.
Ooh, that's
and you can't be, it's all or nothing. And if you say
they will downright kick you out of everything.
And she got excommunicated and she had to pretend she was a Jehovah's Witness to be in touch with any of her family members. And like, what a terrible position to put someone in. Like, why would you build that into the culture? That you're going to just make a person a liar before God. you know, rather than say like, this isn't a thing that I want to do, or, you know?
So that's the thing. So when we ask Rory to not listen to her headphones and be herself and join into this thing, you know, there has to be middle ground, gray areas. You know, I think all of this is what this is about. You're either in or out of Emily's life. No, maybe she can join the booster club and not the other things. Maybe Rory could make friends, but not necessarily, you know, join the Mafia or whatever. Like, you got to be able to like be yourself and also be considerate and considering of other things. So, yeah.
I mean, who would you rather make best friends with at Harvard? You know what I mean? Would you want to make friends with like thoughtful, loner, but kind Rory? Or do you want to make friends with very smart, conniving, mean girl Paris?
See, my thing is maybe there's a third, fourth, fifth, and 10th.
Right, but I'm saying there's not. Kindness goes a long way. That nobody's acknowledging that.
Yeah,
that like there are other elements to her personality,
right?
That they're like, well, you're not social enough. I don't know, but this episode ends with her meeting another reader.
Right.
Was this the girl? Okay, the girl that comes and sits with her at the lunch table, is she one of the inductees at the kidnapping night?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't,
because originally I thought it was, and that she was going to come up and be like, so that was weird, wasn't it?
Right.
Like they become friends because they're got in trouble together, and like getting in trouble together can bond people, you know? Trauma bonded. We survived the headmaster together.
Right.
But they don't talk about that. And the point is that they don't talk. She's like, can I sit here? And Rory's like, okay. And then she sits, and then they just don't talk.
Yeah.
They just want to keep each other company, but not talk, which is so great.
I think that it's a great way for the show to depict, like, look, there are others like you. They find it very soothing. So there is a club where you get to sit with your headphones.
You do find your people.
Yeah, there is a world like
Took
that.
long enough for Rory. But before that, we have a quick scene of Lorelai and Luke.
Well, it kind of starts like the show sort of starts with Luke and his flirting, and it kind of ends with Luke and his flirting.
Yeah.
But it's like misunderstanding of flirting every time.
Yes. Yes.
And I was even making faces while we were watching it. Lorelai and her bumbling like, I would rather you not date a Chilton mom.
How dare she? I'm so with Luke on this, where he's like, I'm an adult. You don't tell me who to date. What are you talking about? I do what I want. If you don't like it, you don't have to listen, or like something. I loved it. He's right. She's wrong.
And she knows it. She knows it. And she turned into a baby. Fine. Date her. Marry her. Make her Mrs. Backwards Hat. Lorelai, relax.
Yeah. Take it down a notch.
Relax.
Take it down a notch.
And everyone knows that's not the quickest way to Harvard. So.
Right.
Because it turns out he's just giving this woman directions. But I really thought like, oh, they're going to go out on a date. When I saw them talking, she was interested. Why wouldn't he be interested? I thought they were going to go on a date. Turns out he's just giving her directions. Didn't you think? Did you think? What did you think?
I mean, the body language was meant for us to think that, because they're laughing and they're both smiling and leaning in toward each other. It's like very clear that we're supposed to think they're flirting. Maybe she was flirting her pants off, but he either didn't see it or like rejected it. Maybe he doesn't like her. Maybe she smelled bad. Maybe she said something foul. Maybe she was.
But he seems more like a person who this woman is asking him for directions and he is just literal. No, she just asked me for directions, where that might have been her trying to.
Yes, that was her in.
Because he's like the kind of guy that would completely miss people hitting on him.
Yes, exactly.
And so I think he might have missed it. So.
Right. So she'd be like, can you give me directions back to Hartford? And he's like, I'll give you directions to my bed. And she was like, that's much better. You know, like he missed it. He didn't flirt back. Or he didn't like her because she's a little stuck up and entitled.
Maybe, but I thought there could have been a chance.
Yeah. And there still might be. Oh, I guess there isn't.
Well, he said he was just giving her directions.
Yeah, but that means that for now, he's just giving her directions, but you don't know later.
Could be.
Or this woman never appears again in the whole series, I bet.
I have no idea. Let's get into trivia.
Nice. Nice poker face. The next 5 episodes are about Ava.
That was season 2, episode 7. Just like that, we are a third into the second season.
Oh my god!
Yes.
We sure are.
Sure. I gotta thank you all for listening again. So thank you. Okay, so this was out November 13th, 2001. It's called Like Mother, Like Daughter, and the first one is about Ava, the main mom from the Booster Club, the one that liked Luke. Her name is Brenda Strong. She has appeared in every show you've ever heard of. I can't name them all, but even the ones. So I'm going to name the ones where she appeared in at least 20 episodes.
Oh my God. Okay.
Right? Okay. So 24 episodes on Supergirl.
Didn't watch.
Right? 22 episodes on something I've never heard of. 13 Reasons Why.
Oh, I've heard the name, but I've never watched it.
32 episodes on Blood Relatives.
Never heard of it.
40 episodes of Dallas. Remember Dallas?
Oh,
never
that's
watched it,
old school. Is she old enough to have been on Dallas?
Right?
That's from like the 80s.
Something. Yeah.
Or the early 90s. Okay.
180 episodes of Desperate Housewives, the non-reality version.
Didn't watch it.
So, and meanwhile, you and I know her from 4 episodes of Seinfeld.
I love it. Makes no sense.
Sue Ellen Michkey.
The heir to the candy heiress.
Do you remember the candy?
Was it Chunky, Fifth Avenue?
It's a name.
Whatchamacallit? Oh, O. Henry?
O. Henry.
She's the heir to the O. Henry. Okay.
I don't know if you remember, but she went to high school with Elaine. Elaine was very annoyed because she never wore a bra. So Elaine bought her a gift, I think, for her birthday, and it was a bra. So she decided to wear it as a shirt.
As a top. Yep.
As a top. She's walking down the street with
a bra with a blazer over it. And she looked ravishing. So ravishing that Kramer got into an accident. And hilarity ensues.
Well, he sues her. And then the way she got off is they mocked the OJ trial.
OJ
if
trial.
If it doesn't fit, you can't. Okay.
Yeah, because
you must have quit. Right.
Just watch Seinfeld, everyone. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't hold up as great as we want it to, but
no.
It is. Okay, so now this is another one. The guidance counselor, Mrs. Burdinas, she's played by Adila Barnes, and she might look familiar to people our age who watched a very popular show that started in 1990. The show she was in, let's see. The show Adila Barnes was on for 16 episodes, was known for its groundbreaking content, but somehow the show's creator and star, the show's creator and star's life got so controversial they got kicked off their own show, and the rest of the cast continued putting out episodes for years with a different name. So the person who created the show and starred in it, her life got so controversial, her political views, that she got kicked off her own show. The show continued on with a different name.
Oh, was it Roseanne?
It was Roseanne.
Roseanne.
Yes.
Oh, that's wild.
Barnes was one of Roseanne's close friends. She was on 16 episodes.
Oh. Yeah. I watched Roseanne in and out, but I didn't watch it like front to back.
It was just one of the greatest shows ever.
I know. I remember thinking it was really groundbreaking at the time because we were used to family dynamics like the Cosby Show where everything was perfect. Mm-hmm. And they were like messy. It was great.
Very messy. I loved it. Loved it. First season is magic. And then it turned into the Connors. All right. Okay. The last one, Aubrey. Do you remember the stepmom who couldn't remember her stepkids' names?
Yes.
She's played by Nicole Eggert. So a lot of people might recognize her from the 44 episodes on Baywatch.
Oh.
But I didn't watch Baywatch. I remember her from watching her as a kid. She was a child actor on what popular TV series from 1987 to 1990?
Whoa.
Did she
The Wonder
look familiar
Years.
To you? No. Mm-mm.
No. 87 to 90?
Yeah.
Shoot. Alf? No.
No. That's
Different Strokes.
No.
That's earlier.
After this, yeah.
All right, I give up.
Okay, she was on 104 episodes as Jamie Powell on Charles in Charge.
Charles in charge of our days and our nights.
Do you remember her?
I don't. I wasn't a big Charles in Charge person. I watched it a handful of times, but not so that I'd remember any of the actors.
Oh, she was the cool girl. She had a sister and a brother. The brother was a lot younger, so he played like the I'm a little kid role.
Mm-hmm.
They were teenagers, and their parents, I guess they were rich or something. Charles was their nanny.
Right.
And there was the cool girl who's like so hip and whatever. And then her sister was such a nerd, and she can only think of nerdy things. And so.
Right. Wait, was Charles in Charge sort of a who's the boss? Like, why is there a man nanny? And who's the boss was, why is there a man housekeeper?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, funny.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Men can do it too.
What?
Ladies, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, except then they find out that Charles slept with the kid. And
he slept with Tony from Who's the Boss?
No, with Nicole, the one from this episode. And he's saying that he waited until she was 18.
Oh, in real life?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant on the show. Oh, that's gross.
So there's controversy with that. That's a thing. I don't know where they landed on it, but there was that. Okay. That's my trivia. Do you have any
I like your trivia.
Thank you.
Okay, so my predictions have been way off these last two episodes based on what I what's that?
Which I love.
Okay. Because I think there's always going to be a lot more drama than there is. Halfway through this episode, I thought the Mean Girls, I thought the Puffs were going to do something horrible to Rory.
Yes.
But they didn't. It was a legit thing. It's a very weird sorority to let people in after you have one meal with them, but okay. I hope that this episode was the beginning of a friendship between Emily and Lorelai. Because
you always hope that.
I know.
It's more of a hope than a prediction for you.
But this one, my prediction makes sense now.
Yeah.
They danced together to Cyndi Lauper.
Mm.
So I think there's more hope in that now.
We should do like a hope section and a prediction section.
You're right. We should divide these. We should. Because my predictions are getting stupider and stupider because I keep being wrong. But yes, what I hope for the show. I'm once again noticing that we're missing some what I thought were going to be main characters that are just not main characters. I still hope and predict that Paris and Rory are going to be friends. Because why not? And we didn't see Paris Posse this episode, right?
Right. That's true.
So where are these girls? I think they have potential to become Rory's friends because they've never been as mean. Well, at least the brunette, not the blonde chick. The other one, Madeline and Louise, one of them.
Nice. Very nice.
Yep. I predict that Lorelai does become friends with some of the Chilton moms. Okay. And that becomes a conflict somehow. And wait, name another character that I missed.
Luke, Emily, Rory, Lane. But Lane's not in this, so you can't really predict anything.
Yeah. But yes, Luke and Lorelai still have to eventually hook up. I mean, that's predicted. That's been predicted. That is not me. That's been predicted. Unless this show invented will they, won't they? And then by the end of the series, they just didn't. Okay. No. Okay. That's fine.
I will not make a face. I
Don't
will
make a
tell
face.
people that they should subscribe. And in fact, subscribe on YouTube because that's how you'll get the alert that we're doing the live shows.
We do streams sometimes, and you can find out when we're doing them by subscribing. I like our live streams. They're fun.
Yeah, and we have guests now on the live stream, and we're chatting with people who are chiming in. Some people just listen. It's been a lot of fun. And we get to go over the comments that we see in the various platforms.
We or you?
Well, I curate them for
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. I'm too busy and important to read the comments, so I have someone else do that for me, and that's you.
Well, it's fun because then this way people are a little bit more open to talk. I do like that people are in general keeping with the show's topic so that it doesn't ruin it for people who, I mean, there are people starting this show even now that have never seen it before. Like, I personally can't believe that this earth still has those people walking around, but
that was me 6 months ago, and you have to wrap your head around it. It was amazing.
I saved you from that life.
You saved me from that life. Yes, you totally did. But so people in the comment sections are not generally giving spoilers.
Generally, no. Generally, it's a pretty safe.
So maybe
space.
I can go back in. Can I go back in?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. We are keeping you so pure, and you can only stay pure in this way. Nothing happens, Carrie.
I can't be too. Okay.
Meanwhile, I have to tell you guys, so I saw Carrie this last weekend. We talked about it a little bit in the pre-show. I just want you to know I have her silver spoons now. You may die now, Carrie.
You're written out of my will because I gave them to you while I was alive. So you're not in the will.
Then can you leave a letter for me in your will? Because I need like something that will make, well, first of all, we're assuming you die first, which I'm not sure that's going to happen. But second, if you could just like leave me a letter, if you're not going to leave me anything, because I want to be like a part of your afterlife.
Oh, and the letter will prove that?
Well, if I'm not, I already have your spoons. What else is there? Really, what else is there, Carrie?
Oh my God.
Let's face it.
You were after me for my spoons this whole time.
I want a letter now.
All right, I'll write you a letter, but I don't know when I'm going to die. So if I write you a letter now and then I don't die for another 30 years, it's going to be really outdated.
No, it'll be fine.
You're going to be like, that was before we even had flying cars.
The next time you update your will, just write a little letter. Hey, Gilmore friend, I'm so glad we friends did.
You know how expensive it is to update a will?
All right, the next time, like,
I ain't made of lawyers.
I will earn it. That's all right. Okay.
All right. Yeah, we're way off topic. You guys, thanks for joining us tonight. We're so happy that you are here, and we will see you next week. Have a good night and day and pleasant days ahead. Nailed it. Nailed it, you guys.
Smooth.
Bye.